Hello everyone, welcome to this short tutorial on how to use a dichotomous key. This is part of the ID module for arboriculture, and we're looking specifically in this week in looking at ways to identify trees properly if we don't know them. Dichotomous keys are pretty powerful. I like them myself. They're not for everyone, but at least you'll have this as a tool in your pocket when you are out in the field. So, what is a dichotomous key? It's a tool that is used to identify an unknown organism through a series of alternate choices, yes or no's, or you just have to go to one or the other. They're mutually exclusive. And if you keep following this pathway, you'll hopefully get to the right organism. Sometimes they're not always in the key, and you'll get to a point in the process where nothing seems to match. And if that happens, just know that your species probably isn't there. But you might, if it is in the key and you follow the pathway right, hopefully you'll get to the right answer. So here's an example of that yes or no, that mutually exclusive kind of relationship. So we have, usually this is something you'll see very early on in the process for a key. Are the leaves opposite? And if they are, go to 2. Or are they alternate? And if they are, go to 3. So we look here at the picture. It's a red maple. Most of you probably already know that. And if you look right here, you have 2 leaves, 2 simple leaves, 2 petioles attached at the same point on the stem. And we know because of that the tree is opposite. So we look at their choices. If it's opposite, go to 2. If it's alternate, go to 3. It's opposite, so we will go down to 2 in this example and answer the next question. So often you'll see these as leaf keys. When I lived in Wisconsin, we had winter for about 9 months, and we had to learn how to identify trees by their buds and twigs during the winter because there were no leaves. And I had a really good twig key, and I really liked it. But when you look at this particular key is something that I did for an EDIS article, and it's part of your assignment for this week. We just looked at leaf types. And so just click this, print out or open up that EDIS article, and it'll have the same key, and you can kind of see it's a very short 10 species key, which is good for learning how to use these things. So one of the first things you'll see is we're going to separate out between simple and compound leaves, and then if you choose compound, it's going to be once compound or twice compound as options. We look at opposite versus alternate leaf arrangement. Do multiple leaves emerge from one point, or is it just one and then another one later on and another one later on? Looking at leaf margins, are they entire so the leaf edge is smooth and there's no bumps or teeth or anything like that? Are they lobed, like at your earlobe, you'd see on a maple or an oak? Are they revolute? Revolute being that cupping, that spoon-like shape to certain leaves like live oaks, or are they serrate? Do they have kind of like knife serrations on the leaf margins? We also have winged almondness, so we ask if the leaf base is asymmetric. Does one side droop down a little bit more, or is it symmetric? And these are things that we're going to use to parse out those 10 species. Okay, so practice using the dichotomous key here. So here's in our tutorial EDIS document, we go through one example. And I'm just going to kind of show you how this works as we go through it. So the first question is, are the leaves and buds opposite? And if they are, go to 2. Or are the leaves and buds alternate? Go to 3. As you can see here in that first picture to the left with the 2 red arrows, there are leaves and they are emerging one at a time, kind of in a sporadic pattern, and that would make them alternate, right? So we go to 3. And we can, in that picture below, is showing that the leaf, okay, so go to 3. And are the leaves simple or are they compound? And this one is really easy. The leaf, there's only one leaf lit, so it's simple. And we can tell that it's simple because if you look where the petiole attaches to that woody stem, there's a bud there, so that is the end of the leaf. So there's only one leaf on there, one leaflet. So this is a simple leaf. Okay, so the next set of questions are the leaf edges entire, or are they serrate and lobed? And if you look at that picture, kind of off to the left and up, you'll see that there's an arrow pointing to the leaf edge, and we do not have any sort of teeth or projections or anything like that in that picture. These live oaks can be a little tricky. If you look at their really new emerging leaves, sometimes they have little teeth, but those disappear as the leaf matures and fully develops. So I tend, because of that, I say just grab from a mature leaf. Make sure it's fully expanded when you do these things. So the leaves are entire, and we go to 5 now instead of going to 7. And then our next question, and these are when things start getting a little bit more specific. We're starting to get past the very basic groupings. Is the leaf underside silvery and white and highly aromatic when crushed? And I often do this, and I have samples with the individuals so they can actually do this and smell it. And in our group of 10 species, if that was the case at this point, you would have camphor tree, a very common tree that we try not to plant too much anymore. The other side, the other one is the leaf not silvery and white, and then again it wouldn't be aromatic when crushed, and that's the case. If you look at that picture, it's not silvery; it's more like a pale green. So we go to 6. And then finally, are the leaves leathery and revolute? And if that's the case, out of these 10 species that we're looking at, we would have live oak. And are they not leathery and relatively flat? They'd be laurel oak, which is related, same genus, and often confused by people. Well, you can't really. Leathery is hard to tell from a picture, but looking at the picture above, you can tell definitely that these things are revolute. They have a spoon type of shape. So with that, we're pretty confident that this is a live oak. So that is how to use a dichotomous key, and I hope that helps you with your homework today. Take care. Bye.